Hello, welcome back. Last video में what we have seen is we have seen what all the tools, key tools that we should use while or by the software developers or software engineers or students who are aspiring to be a software engineering professional or software developer, all these areas. For the software development field, the tool that we should use. Also, we have discussed that AI is not going to replace the developers or software engineers, but what is happening is a developer or an engineer who is skilled in AI is or will replace another human who doesn't know or who is not skilled in the AI tools. That's what we have discussed. And also, I have promised that we will talk about the tokenization, which is very important in terms of the usage, and why it is important even more is to understand our prompt engineering or prompting technique. If we know prompting technique properly, in that case, we will be able to save tokens, means either I am using free version or paid version, I will be able to complete or achieve my objective within that token limit. So let's see ये token क्या है. So have you ever wondered or have you ever encountered this kind of message in ChatGPT, say for example, context length exceeded, or in Gemini, file and prompt exceeds Gemini's context window. Claude says the message you submitted is too long, or similar notification suggested to reduce the text size. You might wonder what all these messages are. ये सब मैसेज क्यों आता है? ये मैसेज आता है इसलिए कि हमारा टोकन जो लिमिट है, टोकन यूसेज का जो लिमिट है वो खत्म हो गया. Now, it becomes even more critical when you are developing an AI based software calling different APIs through prompts. Now, why API charge money based on the tokens instead of words? Because tokens. Confusing. So देखते हैं token है क्या. So if you're a software developer working with AI, understanding the token is very, very critical. Why? Because token determines how AI reads your prompt, how much context AI remember, and how much money your application will cost. The third one is the most important one for developing commercial application. And that's why understanding this, at no time you will exhaust all the tokens, even for the paid version. Now what will happen? Organization will have to spend more money. So their profitability or the advantage kind of goes to the drain. In this video, I will explain what tokens are, how they work, and how developers particularly can use them effectively or efficiently when building the AI applications. Let's start. First, token क्या है? What is token? Simple explanation. Let's not make things complex. A token is the smallest unit of text that an AI model processes. During our engineering, data is broken into bytes and then furthermore to bits. Now in AI, we can say something similar. So it is smallest unit of text that an AI model can process. Now token can be a word, a part of the word, punctuation even, numbers, or even space. Something like almost like a character. AI models do not read the text the way humans do. They break the text into token before processing it. Next is the example of tokenization. A token क्या है? What is token is clear. What is tokenization? Let's take a simple example. Suppose this is the sentence. artificial intelligence is transforming software development. This is a sentence. Now, if I tokenize, this might be broken tokens like artificial, one token, intelligence, second token, is transform, then ing, transforming software development. So these many tokens, it might get broken into. Sometimes even smaller pieces can be used or might be. Might be development, may become develop and then MENT. So development also might get broken into two pieces. So one word is not always a token. On an average, one token is or consists of 4 characters or 4 bytes in our older term, computer term. 100 tokens will be somewhere around 75 words. Now the next important question, why token matters for developers? Why? Number one, the context window. AI model have a maximum token limit. Every AI model. Now that limit varies from model to model, number one, and whether I am using free version or paid version, that is number two. For example, some model allow 8,000 tokens, some of them allows 34,000 tokens, someone allowed 128,000 tokens, that is 1,28,000 tokens, even more in some newer model. Now, this limit includes your prompt, the conversation history, and the AI response also. That's the most critical one. Response also consumes token. I have written or given a prompt, please explain AI. So ChatGPT gives a response. Now the question is, my prompt might have very few words, so might consume a very little token, less tokens. But the out will consume lot of tokens. Since my prompt is very generic, now with just explain AI, artificial intelligence will not suffice. I will have to give 2 or 3 more prompts. So even my prompt is shorter, smaller, which it uses less number of tokens, but since my response will also use tokens, my token usage, total token usage will go up. Okay. So that's why AI response also we need to keep in mind. If the token limit exceeded, the model cannot process the request. So if for paid plan, you will have to pay once again, or for the free plan, you will have to wait for few hours to a day to get your token balance recharged. Sometimes some of the model doesn't even allow to proceed further unless you go for a paid plan. Now, cost of AI APIs, let's understand. Most AI API charge per token. This means more token you use, higher the cost. Now again, think about a situation. As a developer, you are making calls to APIs from your application. Now APIs, calling the API has a cost. AI APIs. Okay. So that's why you need to keep in mind. Second, the additional, for example, if your application sends large number of prompts repeatedly, the cost can increase significantly. This is why developers must optimize token usage. Performance of AI applications, more token means more computation and slower response. This also we need to keep in mind. So efficient prompts make AI application faster and cheaper. For example, token usage in a real AI API. Think about again, use case. Imagine you are building an AI customer support chatbot. Every time a user asks a question, application sends the user query, previous conversation history. Suppose you are having a conversation. Okay. So previous conversation history, relevant company document, or even the user or customer document if your system has the provision of uploading their documents as well, right? All becomes token. So if the conversation begins or becomes long, if the conversation becomes long, the token usage increases rapidly. This is why the developers use the techniques like context summarization. Then they use something called retrieval systems, vector databases. Vector database we have touched upon in the previous video, right? The tools for vector database. Now tokens in prompt engineering. Understand the tokens also helps in prompt engineering. Why? Instead of writing a very long prompt, developer learn to write concise prompts, send only the relevant information, reduce unnecessary text. This improves both performance and cost efficiency. For example, if I go for a token calculation, an example prompt. Explain machine learning in simple terms. They may use 7 to 10 tokens. But prompt like explain machine learning details with mathematical formulas in real world applications or real world examples may use 30 to 50 tokens. Now imagine sending thousands of this requests per day to an AI application. Token optimization becomes very important. But this is one side of the story. Prompt, size of the prompt. As we have seen earlier in this video, that when the AI tool responds back, जब AI tool answer दे रही है, उस time पे भी it consumes token. So I need to strike a balance between the size of the prompt, मेरा prompt कितना बड़ा होना चाहिए, कितना छोटा होना चाहिए, and also the response I am getting from that prompt or as a result of the prompt. Hardly does it suffice my requirement. So we need to find out a solution where I will give a prompt, I will get the response in one shot, correct response, desired response in one shot, and calculate the token usage. Now for that, if my prompt is little bigger, which is fine, rather than giving the same or multiple prompts to achieve the result. Because the moment we will do that, it consumes more and more token because it keep on the context of the previous prompt and response. Tool developers use to measure tokens. Developer often use token calculators to estimate usage. For example, OpenAI tokenizer tool or a tick token library or API dashboard. Now, this says in the previous video, we have talked about 8-9 tools, AI tools. Getting skilled into those one or few tools are essential, critical. Along with that, in the industry, to work in the industry, you need to be skilled or at least know how to use these tools like OpenAI tokenizer tool, token library or any of those. These tools help the developers to understand how many tokens a prompt uses, how much API call will cost. So finally, the key takeaway for the developers or the aspiring developers, if you are a student, if you are building an AI application, remember this simple rule. Tokens are the currency of any AI system. The more token you use, the more memory the model needs, the more processing time is required, and the higher cost of your application. So, efficient developers learn to optimize tokens while designing prompts and AI workflow. Understand, tokens may sound like a small concept, but it is actually one of the most important fundamentals of working with the AI model. Because every prompt, every response, and every AI application ultimately depends on tokens. If you want to become a serious AI developer, understanding token is a skill you must master. Clear? So with this, we end this chapter, this video. In the next video, what we are going to cover is हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री का बातचीत हो गया प्रीवियस वीडियो में। सॉफ्टवेयर इंडस्ट्री वाले और डेवलपर के लिए क्या क्या टूल चाहिए बातचीत हो गया। इस बार टोकन के बारे में बातचीत हो गया। नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम लोग बात करेंगे एआई फॉर अकाउंटेंट्स और एआई फॉर फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल। अगर आप फाइनेंस प्रोफेशनल हो तो आपको एआई यूज करने से क्या फायदा मिलेगा। अगर आप बीकॉम या एनी ऑफ दोज काइंड ऑफ सब्जेक्ट स्टडी कर रहे हो तो आपको एआई में क्या क्या सीखना चाहिए और क्यों, वो सब हम लोग बात करेंगे इन द नेक्स्ट वीडियो। तब तक के लिए हैप्पी प्रॉम्प्टिंग, हैप्पी एआईइंग एंड अंडरस्टैंड टोकन। चलिए बाय, टेक केयर।